Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Issues with Toddie One Skip. This is episode 6, not including my origin episode, which is actually 6. This is probably 7, I guess. And this is Issues with Mediocrity. What's up with that? Mediocrity? Just doing the bare minimum to get by? How does that make you feel better? Let's talk about it. So, to be mediocre means that you're just in like this lump of a group of other people and you don't stand out. Why would somebody want that? I don't know. So, I've worked with people that instead of giving 100%, they give the bare minimum and then they leave the job exhausted. Serious. You know, I've worked a lot of jobs and I've seen a lot of people behave like that. I've also seen people behave like that in family matters where they just want to be bothered just enough and don't want to be bothered any more than that. I've seen people behave like that in friendships. I've seen people behave like that as partners where they feel like, I could give 50%, they could give 50%. No. Here's what I think. I think if you're going to do anything, you got to give 120%. If you're going to take a job, give 120% to that job. If you've agreed to get paid a certain amount of money, work a certain amount of hours a week, then you've made a contract. You're only as good as your word, right? So if you've agreed to this and then do the bare minimum, you're really cheating somebody out of a deal that you made with them. Whether that be at work or whether that be personally. If you've promised to love somebody and be there for somebody and you only give 50% or you're only there when it's convenient for you, you're not doing anything. You're not even showing up. You're doing what's convenient for you. And at the bare minimum, maybe you're being mediocre. How do you expect to achieve greatness? We all want to stand out in the crowd. We do. We want to be noticed. We want to be appreciated. We want to be good at something in our life. We might as well be good at the thing that we've dedicated 40 hours a week to, and that's work. If it's no longer a challenge, you're the best you could be is mediocre, you need to go find another job. Because mediocrity is not anything that anybody should really be proud of. Giving 100% and achieving is something we should be very proud of. Giving 100% and even failing is something we should still be proud of because we gave 100%. Life isn't fair. It's not fair that you could sit at a job and give 120% and then somebody's next to you and they're giving 50%. The only thing that's the difference between the two of you is when you go to bed at night, do you feel like you gave all of yourself to your responsibilities? Did you keep your word? Or did you just skate through? Skating through is not going to work your whole life. At some point, you're going to get caught in that mediocrity. You're never going to find somebody amazing and wonderful who's in love with you for you if you're mediocre. You have to strive for more. It can't just be enough to get by. That's not why we were put here. We were put here to thrive, to get through life and have fun and enjoy and to do the best we can. Seriously, I used to have a boss that used to say to me, do you like what you're doing? Because if you don't like what you're doing, you're wasting your time. And you're wasting my time. And that's so true. Some people can't pick what they want to do for a living. They just have to do a job. But if you change your mind about that, and you look at that job like a challenge every day, and you give 100%, 110%, 120%, and you make that job challenging for you, then it no longer becomes a boring, mediocre job. You know, I was a waitress for a while, and I remember I never really felt comfortable serving. I always felt like it's a miracle for me to stay out of the weeds. I was a good server, but there's always situations where you can have too many tables seated at the same time. Somebody could keep you at a table longer than you need to be. You could fall out of sync very easily and end up in the weeds. When I say that, for anybody that doesn't know, the weeds is when you're so far behind you just don't even know who you're serving anymore. You don't know the table from the other table or anything like that, and you just are trying so hard to catch up. Every day, I used to challenge myself to stay out of the weeds. And it was exhausting, but it was fun. And at the end of it, I ended up being a really good server. And I think service is not an easy job. Not at all. You're at people's beck and call. Some people are just monsters to wait on. Some people are nice. You never know who you're going to get. Sometimes the cook can be mad at you. Sometimes another server could take your food, either not meaning to or meaning to. And the whole object of me was to get out of the weeds, stay out of the weeds all day. That was my goal. And that challenge made it exciting for me to go to work. If you change your mind, everything else changes with you. Everything depends on how you view things. Is it okay to be mediocre? Well, when you're in your 20s and in your 30s and you figure, oh, I got time to be who I'm going to be? No, not really. Not really, because you see that past that you've built for yourself? When you go and really try to be serious, it's going to be harder. It's like never working out and all of a sudden having to work out. It's going to be really hard for you to do that. So you might as well just be the best you can be at the beginning. My dad used to say, hey, if you're going to do something, you might as well do it right the first time, because you're just going to have to keep going back to it. Might as well save yourself some time, do it right the first time, take some pride in the work, and be done with it. It's true. It's true. Be the best that you can be in anything you try to achieve in life, because it will always be better than your mediocrity. It will always be better than that. You will always stand out more. You will always be respected more, because you will treat yourself with respect more, knowing that you did the best you could. Not enough to skate by. You didn't just look at the clock and wait for your 8 hours to pass. You actually did things within those 8 hours and made things happen, so that when you're no longer there, you are missed. And people say, oh yeah, they used to do that. They used to do that. They used to do that. You know, it's very easy to lose your face in a crowd. So why do it when it takes just a little bit more? And after you give a little bit more each day, it just becomes a habit. And it's a good habit to have. It's very good to stand head and shoulders over people because of your work ethic, because of your commitment ethic, because you strive to be better. And that better is for you. Not to put your nose up in the air, but it's for you. real quick podcast about mediocrity and about just expecting more from yourself. Don't let yourself fail. You are the only one that can really stop yourself from letting yourself fail. Don't take the easy way out. That becomes way too easy. And what have you learned? What have you achieved? When have you grown because of that? If you don't challenge yourself, you're not going to grow anymore. And that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're here. We're supposed to make the best of the situation while we're here. Because during this podcast, this 10 minutes or whatever it is that I'm speaking, there are, I guarantee you, at least hundreds of people that lost their lives in this 10 minutes. It wasn't you and it wasn't me. So let's make our time matter. Stop with mediocrity. Start with looking at yourself with pride, expecting more from yourself, and being more. And don't forget, be better tomorrow than you were today, and be better the next day than you are tomorrow. Until next time, this is Toddie One Skip. Like, subscribe, share, talk about me. See you next time.